Jackie, Kashian, Laurie, Martin.
There, Charmy, starting us off. Love it.
Let me
Love
shut a door.
Okay. You may have to edit this right from the get, or we could count this 30 seconds as part of the show.
Say, Charmy counts as a guest.
Wow. We don't have a lot of guests, you guys. Mostly just Janine Garofalo, and now Charmy are two guests that we've ever had on the regular show. We did just put the new bonus out, Laurie.
Oh,
Atsuko?
Atsuko was great. We talked about joke writing with her, and then the one we have coming up for the July will be incredible. So you are a Patreon, you are lucky. And if you're not, you know what? You're more than welcome to get lucky.
Get lucky. That's it. You can join as a non-paying and then just use it as information. But if you have some monies, like $1 a month, that's $12.
You won't get anything for $1 a month. Our minimum that we give you that stuff is $5 a month.
Right. Well, $1 a month, you get the Zoom shows. We did a Zoom show.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's true. Okay.
That's true. And you also get the video. You get the video of the show before.
Jackie,
you get stuff for $1 a month.
I don't want my video. People should have to pay $200 a month for video of me without makeup on, and you're giving it to them for practically free almost. What the fuck?
Well, $12 is $12. You know, that's what I have to say. I know you got a writing job right now, so you're good. But what I have to say is, I did
appreciate you summing up what you think my life is when I haven't had a job for 3.5 years and had the same expenses. So please,
right, and the rest of it, sure, you could bust my chops. In other news, I did Carmen Morales' pot. Oh my God. Who's got time for time code? Who's got time for time code?
Do I make assumptions about your money situation, Jacqueline?
No, you already know how sad it is, so you don't bring it up. Plus, I'm constantly telling you that I consider myself rich because I can afford underpants and I live indoors. So, that's
True.
what I say.
I forgot how your childhood caused your expectations to be artificially low.
It does drop the bar some. So, but I will say I did Carmen Morales' podcast, and she hires a studio with a guy named Mark, and he does a 4-camera shoot, 4K, and her clips look amazing. But she did tell me to wear makeup. And I didn't. So you guys want to see some aging? You tune in to Carmen Morales' podcast in a week or two. Watch that happen right before your very eyes.
That's an effort. And I appreciate the people that make that effort. And I say cheers to you. And I raise my glass of ice water to you. But I don't want to make that effort.
Right. But it does look beautiful. And what else is happening? Oh, I had lunch coffee, really, with Maria Bamford and Laura House.
I saw the pics.
Right. Who said that they have agreed to sub for me the next 2 weeks.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
Remember years ago when we talked about it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
but it was only in the
they'll
event
each
of
take a week.
Our death. But now we're like, we need a vacation. Oh, this is so exciting.
This is so fun.
Right, because it'll be so hard. It'll be almost impossible for me to do it from the UK in the next 2 weeks. So with your work and the time diff. So
one needs to sometimes just check out completely and immerse oneself in one's husband or whatever one has.
Right. So they're loved ones. And but I will say that Laura was like, well, I'm not doing the road. And I said, but you have opinions about stand-up comedy.
Oh my God. I would love to hear all of Laura's opinions on jokes and stand-up comedy.
And in the future, I asked Martha Kelly if she'd be willing to do it in the future. And she said yes.
Oh my God.
So
I love it how you kept it in our age range, right? Please don't make me talk to some fucking millennial for an hour.
Taylor Tomlinson's going to come on and talk about how she's suffering in her career. If you'd like to, it's.
I don't know why you said that, Jackie. Are you mad that you didn't get your third appearance on After Midnight before the show went down?
I didn't get a second one. I never got a second one.
Oh, okay. I
get
it now.
The fires happened. The fires
That's
happened.
right.
That's right. The world burned down, and then she decided she wanted to do stand-up. No, I'm actually, she doesn't need my pride, so I'm just going to say I'm very happy for her. And I say congratulations on knowing that you want to do stand-up.
Yeah, and she told them she almost seemed like she didn't want to do the show at all. And they just kept going, we got to have you. And she's like, all right, but I want to tour on the weekends, so we're going to double up. And I want Thursdays off. A lot of times they did 2 shows on Wednesdays, I think. So she kind of said ahead of time, I want to be a touring stand-up.
I heard Aaron I did the Nightcap the other night, and Aaron from the Nightcap told me that they're actually going to recast it. So I don't know where he heard that. We're going to, I'm going to need a second source, but not that Aaron isn't as qualified as anybody, but that was what I heard.
Well, I mean, that makes sense to me. I don't know why they didn't just do it immediately. Why they're going to have this 3-6 month lag.
Yeah.
Ugh. Why? And then and plug it in with 20-year-old Byron Allen clips? Are you kidding? I mean, I remember when I did my Byron Allen, my Comics Unleashed, I did my INS jokes about having a Russian boyfriend. You think I want that shit on network TV right now? No, you don't. How many times did you end up doing the Byron Allen show? Just once. Once really scratched that itch, Jackie.
You know what itch I had? The itch that said I wanted $450. So I think I did it 3 times.
Oh, man. Well.
And my favorite one is I did it with Harlan Williams, who would not stop busting, just busting on Byron Allen. Just literally.
Good.
The stake for Harlan Williams, the stakes could not have been lower.
Of course. He wants to not get booked back. Oh my God.
He just kept mentioning Michael Jackson over every single joke out of Michael Jackson. Whatever Byron would set up for him, it would turn into a Michael Jackson joke.
The Byron robot would set him up for a bit, and he would deviate from the plan and throw in Michael Jackson. Hilarious.
And finally, Harlan won because Byron said, "Stop it." And that was Byron Allen in a rage, you guys. I got to see it. Oh my God. He said the words in a sharp tone, "Stop it."
He doesn't, the way he pays people is how he rages, because he underpays.
Oh, because he underpays.
That's his fury. But it's also one of the reasons why he's one of the only stand-up comedy billionaires,
Right. He owns the Weather Channel.
Right. And
remember that?
I do.
People forget that about Byron Allen. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember that, but I was just like, is the Weather Channel helpful now? With what happened in Texas?
The Weather Channel has taken over.
So that's what the federal have to rely on instead of the National Weather Service? Byron Allen? Sure. Oh my God.
Byron Allen.
I'm surprised more people didn't die in Texas if that's the case, if a comedian's in charge of your weather service.
It is ambitious that you call Byron Allen a comedian. I don't think he's still doing stand-up.
I say if you were in the trenches for even just a year, you still have mud on your boots, okay? He was a comic when he was 18, 19, and then he was on that show with those people and got really famous and whatever.
He was on that show with those people. You remember. We did a Zoom show. On the 4th of July.
Very fun.
A Zoom at noon. And it was a pretty good lineup. We had 150 people, 112, 35, 30 people.
Yes, I love how Maria, she kept logging on and off, and then when she finally was able to do her set, she did about 2 minutes of material and was like, "Well, that's all I wanted to try. Happy New Year," or whatever. Happy 4th.
Right. She was at lunch with Pamela Walt.
All right.
And I texted her and I said, "Does Pamela want to do a couple of jokes?" And I did not get a response from Pamela Walt. So Pamela Walt, very funny. You might want to look into that. But they were at lunch, and she kept, or I think her internet kept falling out in the restaurant, or something was happening, and then she just wanted to try that one bit.
Yeah.
But it was good. And we raised money for Chirla, CHIRLA. You can still donate to them. It is the coalition to help immigrants. And we sent them $2,000.
Yeah, I believe it pays them for immigrants that are staying home, that are not showing up to work, and gives them some money. In fact, Stephanie Wilder on Facebook she kind of reposted something that Jane Wilson, a very funny
I saw that.
comedy performer and actress, and also an activist, and she just had like a list of things you could do, like just like make 30 sandwiches and bring them to a place and all this. It's like, oh, I can make sandwiches,
Right. Well, I saw something today where you could go and buy out somebody who has like a fruit stand on the side or something like that, and just how much would you make today, and you could still pay your rent and go be safe with your family. So, but then you have to figure out what to do with a lot of watermelon and pineapple and coconuts.
Jackie, I bought what I thought was a normal watermelon at Trader Joe's. I just cracked it open minutes ago. It's yellow inside. I'm sick to my stomach.
What just happened?
Because you brought up fruit and watermelon. At least when you go get it from these carts, you know what color the watermelon is. And I assume it's all red. What are these yellow watermelons doing in our ecosystem? And make them go away. No, not yet.
Did you end up trying it? Okay.
I'll put it in the
believe
fridge.
they just taste, I understand it just tastes like watermelon.
Well, part of the taste of watermelon is seeing the red, juicy meat go into your mouth. And so I'm denied that satisfying experience. I don't want to eat something that's yellow unless it's butter.
Wow. All right. I also did, remember Alice Fraser? She was the comic of the week at one point. She's an Australian comic.
Australia, yes.
She has a podcast out of... I think she's in Melbourne, and it's called Realms Unknown, and it's a nerd podcast about science fiction and fantasy. And she wrote a book about a passion for passion. It's about how she read romance novels.
Oh,
and yeah, it sounds great. And she has this podcast, but it's under the Bugle Network. And the Bugle is a political podcast out of London that John Oliver used to be the co-host of it.
Oh.
And so she's in that network, and I did that today, where we talked about science, just nerd stuff, right? Just kind of bringing it. And she is going to be in London when I'm in London, and so I got to plug my London show because she's doing the festival in Scotland. So
Edinburgh.
Yeah. And but on the 23rd of July, I am doing London at the Bill Murray Theater. And if you go to JackieKashian.com, you can get tickets to that. And I would love it if you did, because they're I think it's like $12 to get in. I really wish it was more, because I'm splitting the door. And I was told later by British comics that I would have had to have asked, because their default is something like 12 pounds or 7 pounds or something like that. And and this weekend I'm in Ann Arbor. Please come out to the Ann Arbor shows. Ann Arbor, Michigan, Friday, Saturday, 11th and 12th. Super fun. Looking forward to your Zingermans. But please come to the shows, because I got to work on this chunk. Yeah.
Listen, gang, it's tough to get people to come out in the Midwest in the summer. It really is. Like, they don't like to. They don't like to go into a dark comedy club.
Yes.
Yeah. So please.
They don't want to come back in. Yes.
Yeah.
It's just a couple
be in
hours.
the dark for a night. Is that okay? For God's sakes.
Right? I know. The show starts, I think, at like 8. That's right around sunset. It'll be fine. Yeah. I'm looking forward to that. I'm also working on, I got a set idea for late night. That's exciting.
Oh, cool. So, that's cool.
I've tried it 3 times. Yeah. And I have the openings working out. And I think I just figured out what the clothes are going to be. And I'm doing a set tomorrow, which is Tuesday. So it will already be done, but I'm doing it at the old Owino, which is Nico's now, I guess, wine bar over in Atwater Village, maybe.
Yep.
Yep. My sister's in town. We're going to go get dinner before, and then I'm going to go do a set. I'm going to run that. Hopefully,
wait, Jackie,
there.
What about our idea of our sisters doing one of the podcasts? Because we both have a sister with a similar sounding voice. Yes. But not exactly. Like, what if we do it without telling the listeners, and they'll just feel like, they'll be like, this sounds right, but it sounds all wrong at the same time.
Right. My sister will be talking about financial advice and cooking, and your sister will be talking about medicine. What will she be talking about?
Psychiatric care for teenagers, I'm thinking.
There you go. Well, we talk about all three of those things. We talk about money. We talk about food. We talk about psychiatric care. Not for teenagers as much. I also did Comedy and Magic this week. Comedy and Magic.
The birthday shows.
The birthday shows, 5 minutes. Got a free T-shirt. Very exciting. It says Comedy and Magic on it.
Okay. I'm doing that one on July 26th. I'm doing the Saturday shows, the 6th and the.
Oh, so am I. I might cancel just because I might have jet lag because I'm flying back the 25th.
Oh, right.
So, but it's 5 minutes back to back to back. You're one of your favorites, Tony Kameen, hanging out.
I love Tony. Mm-hmm.
He's great.
My old pal from San Francisco. Yes, hilarious.
That's it.
Was his wife Carol there as well?
She was not. I do love Carol. Carol's great.
His wife wrote on the original Onion. She's written on a bunch of shows. She's like a legit comedy genius.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so cool. And I had to introduce a guy that Tony told me was super conservative. And I can't remember his name now.
Oh, dang.
But I didn't ask him for his intro. That's how I fight back.
That's how you punish people. You passively aggressively don't ask for their intros.
And then he came up to me and he told me a dumb intro. So I was like,
a joke
I'll
intro?
do a dumb.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate those.
Do you know why you hate them? Because you're right. It turns out you're about to go on stage. You should be in charge of the jokes. My job is to get you on stage and for them to be psyched. How about a credit if you want them to be psyched about they might be seeing someone famous?
Right.
Like Billy Gardell was there. I didn't get to introduce him. He's famous.
Yeah, he's very funny. I worked with him in Chattanooga at the Comedy Catch.
Back in the day?
Way back in the day. And this is way before any of the shows, Mike and Molly, or Bob and Abishola, I think is the other one.
With Jeannie Ashray, yeah.
Yeah, she didn't star in it, but it's like she executive produced it. But yes, anyway, he was hilarious. He was great, and he was just like this funny, semi-Southern guy, and had a great presence on stage, and it was kind of cool to see him do well. And then he lost a fuckload of weight. I hardly recognize him.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And people are always like, why are you always, what? I saw him do a set at Flappers once. And it was summer and someone asked him, why don't you take your shirt off? He said, well, cause I look like a wet rag underneath here. There's a lot of skin and nothing in between. So I guess he didn't get it tucked. He lost a bunch of weight and he didn't get plastic surgery or anything or whatever would have, got rid of a bunch of skin, I guess. And then he could have been a guy without a belly button. He could have been a guy, no belly button. And that would have been creepy. Could have looked like an alien.
You know what else is creepy? Us speculating on somebody without their skin. Shall we move on?
He brought it up. I didn't bring it up. I was just telling you. So other than that, I'm going to do The Crow with Kathy Ladman on the 3rd of August.
Jackie, are we just going spot by spot through your calendar? Is that today's conversation? And you keep looking down and going, oh, I'm doing 5 minutes at a bar in Glendale. Let me see who else is on it.
Let me get to this. I'm doing Rooster Teeth Feather, 7, 8, 9, 10. Cock-a-doodle-doo.
I heard that she's doing a 2-year rotation now instead of 18 months on comics. Find out.
Okay.
I mean, I could text her, but I don't feel like it. I hate to.
Right.
I hate to ask. I'd rather make you do it.
Well, I was there last year. So I'm going to say no. She's not doing a 2-year rotation on comics.
Okay.
But, or at least not in this case. And I'm psyched because, as you know, I had the first 32 weeks of the year booked by my agent who retired. And now we are through that 32 weeks. And so now
we're at what? 20.
How many weeks?
I guess maybe.
I don't know. What's 7 times 4?
We're at
28?
like week 26 or something. 27.
It's is Kyle doing math physically? Is it
No, he's gaming right now. Kyle's gaming.
28. It's 28 weeks.
I just looked it up on the internet. Sort of split the difference between the two.
I can't tell you how many people are listening to this show yelling the words 28. You 4 times 7 months.
One person,
they've long
Darla,
exhausted themselves from screaming at this point.
Yes. So, but 28. But yes, I have probably 4 more weeks that he booked. Still on the books, but they're not till fall. And then nothing else that he's booked. And my new agent has booked me for a festival outside of Colorado Springs one night. So I got to start grinding it out again, is what I'm saying. When he became my agent finally, and I wanted him to be my agent for 20 years, I would ask him every time he switched agencies, every time he moved, I would say, will you rep me now? And he always said no. And then I stopped asking, I was in between asking him, I guess. And he came to me when I started opening for Maria more. And he said, can I rep you so that I could get paid commission from the Maria gigs? And I said, you didn't get me the Maria gigs. Why would you get commission? Maria already commissions you for the money she pays me. And he goes, yes, but I'm working for you. I'm answering questions about you. I would love to get the money from you. And I said, yeah, I don't need it. I don't need it now. And he goes, well, maybe I can make it worth your while. And I was like, how? And he said, maybe I can get you into clubs you couldn't get into before. And he did. He got me into Comedy Works. He got me regular at the Comedy on State, Madison. And that might be it. And then he would get me into. He might get me into
2
clubs.
Jackie. Absolutely worth it.
They're 2 of my favorite clubs in the world.
Sure.
I mean, they're 2 of they're pretty impressive clubs.
I'm not impressed because they haven't booked me, so they don't impress me, but I'm glad they impress you. We're all impressed by clubs that book us, Jackie.
Right. See, this is an example. Look at the time code. This is Laurie Kilmartin busting my balls.
I'm not. I mean that genuinely from the bottom of my heart.
Wow.
The very
Do you
bottom.
hear the sarcasm coming from the very bottom of Laurie's non-existent heart? So,
well,
what about you? You got back from New York after doing 100 sets.
No, I could tell you the amount of sets I have. It's still impressive without your insane hyperbolic number ruining my actual number. Okay.
Check the time code, you guys. Check the
22 sets in 5 days.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. I am not prepared. My stair work is I just live on a level life here in Los Angeles and when there are stairs, there's elevators. and there's no stair. There's hardly any elevators on the subway. Every once in a while, the new ones will have an escalator, but half the time they're broken. And the amount of the flights of stairs, I must have been hundreds of flights of stairs because I took, except for one spot where I worried it is going to be late, and turns out they were running late. I took the subway everywhere, between all spots, or I would take the bus or some combination. But I was always jumping up and downstairs. It was exhausting. Did I tell you about the comic strip last week? I did. We talked about losing tables.
And a little bit about the stairs. But the thing is 22 sets, and then New York sets pay fair. So that's not bad for 5 days.
I mean, most of them were weeknight sets, so those aren't great paying. But the weekends were, Friday, Saturday is fine. It was great. I mean, and I'm gonna go back again at the beginning of August for another weekend.
Okay, nice. Yeah. I did the Improv on a Friday, and it was sold out, the 7:00 show. So they gave us a bump. Money. This hasn't ever happened.
I know. I think they had to copy the Comedy Store. The Comedy Store does that with the main room. If you're in the main room on a weekend, like you can, it can be good money. If it's really full.
It pays $100. I mean, there's no reason why it's a mystery. But if you do a weekend night at the Improv, it's $100, and the bump was $50. So it was $150, and
it wasn't based on a sold out audience. It was just an arbitrary extra 50.
Right, probably. Yeah, I think they were just like, because otherwise, what would have been like $42.70? Is that what they do at the store?
I believe. I mean, I haven't done, most of my spots are in the OR, but I believe in the main room they do just sort of they give you a percentage, so it could be some.
They do the math.
Odd number. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
nice.
That's cool. It was. There was a woman host, which I'm always suspect about, and then it was Nick Swartzen. Wait, was it Nick first?
Jackie, I think you shouldn't just breeze by that statement. Why are you always suspect of a woman host?
Why do you think, Laurie? And so the
that's why I asked.
It's when it's not. It's a technique that is as old as comedy itself. Is if you book a black host and almost all the rest of the comics, and it's a showcase night, and there might be one other person of color on that show, but they keep seeing a black person go up in between shows. The implication is that they book black people. It's nice and even. So they do that with women. They do it with people of color. Mm-hmm. Everybody does it. It's not just the Improv. It's not just the Comedy Store. It's not just the Laugh Factory. But it's a lot of showcase clubs do it, just because they don't want to book more than one of whatever freak show that they think is happening.
Right.
And so there's a lot of straight white guys, or a lot of guys passing for straight. And then
oh boy, not this again, gang.
Check the time code, you guys. Let's not clip this one out, shall we? Anyway, so but it was and it was a hell of a Miles Jabrani. I mean, I think I must have done it 2 weeks ago, because I think we talked about it.
Yeah.
Last week.
I will say, to your point, that the other thing is, and I don't know that that's the case at the show you're talking about, but frequently they'll put one woman up. She's the host. She's the least experienced, and she'll do okay because she's 2 years in or whatever. Right. Mm-hmm. And the guys she's bringing up are, Bill Burr level or something, and they'll crush. Mm-hmm. And the impression the audience goes out with is the men are great and the girls are they're good. They're trying, because there's no female headliners on the show,
Right. Which is not what was the case. That was not the case in this show.
Right.
Which is good. Because I crushed. It was fine. Mm-hmm. It's hard not to. I mean, at this point, if the audience is engaged and I am not on heroin, the show should go well.
Is that a danger, Jackie? What should I be worried about? You have access to our PayPal.
Right. And at this point, what you should know is that, like, where I'm at with because I was going to work on the new chunk. I was going to work on this new, there's 20 odd minutes. There's probably 10 that I'm going to close with. I did it at the Zoom show. And it needs a lot of
all
work.
The stories you're talking about your brothers and sister. I love it.
Oh, you like that one?
Oh, they're great. Yeah.
Yes.
Like you start to get a sense of each one. I don't think you didn't talk about Terry, right? But you did Phil, Russ, and Darla.
Yep.
And Terry's the only other one that you have, right?
No, I did Phil, Scott, and Russ.
Yes.
And Darla. I did not talk about Terry. You're correct.
Okay.
I don't know what. I think in passing I mentioned him, but that's good news because it doesn't feel punchline heavy because it's super storytelling heavy because it's very new.
But it's interesting, and I love hearing about the feral childhood. It's fascinating to me, you know? All
right.
Yes.
Which I think everybody was on board, and that's good. And I just need to do it a bunch more times. And that's what I wanted to work on. That's what I wanted to work on at the Improv. Everybody else, the two people who, Maz Jabrani and Nick, who went up before me, they were both working on new stuff. And I was like, oh, these people deserve not new stuff. It's Saturday at 7:00. And the other two big chunks that I can do in 15-minute increments that are done are very much done. Let me just say, there's nothing to not enjoy. And so I did well. And so, yeah. I don't know what I want out of life anymore, though.
Wow, this took a turn, but keep going.
It really did. It took a huge lateral turn because I know that I feel like I'm literally, because I have I'm anxious, right? I'm nervous. I'm a little worried about how things are going. And, cause it's stage 4 cancer over here, folks. The United States it's not good. So, I cannot stop eating, and I do not wish to eat this much. It's not even fun. Not even having a good time. Chow chow. Right. And I do have here's the thing I am enjoying eating, which is tomato sandwiches, which are, because my tomatoes are coming in. We're about to go 10 days to England, and the tomatoes are just all ripe now.
What goes on a tomato sandwich?
Salt, pepper, mayo, tomato, white bread.
Oh, okay. All right. Cream cheese?
And then you can jazz it up. You can do whatever you want. You can turn it into a caprese sandwich if you want. You could, last night we had caprese for dinner, along with, I made a lamb roast. And, well, I got a book from Maria for Christmas. It was called, because I've always wanted to go to Egypt. She got me an Egyptian cookbook called My Egypt.
Oh, nice.
And, so far I've done like 3. I have an opinion about cookbooks. If there's 3 good recipes in it, it was worth the $35. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna make chicken and lamb and pork over and over and over again. So if there's 3 good recipes, we all win. I'm also watching a TV show called Prue Leith's Cotswold Kitchen.
Oh, is she the lady from? She's on the British Bake Off too, right? She replaced Mary Berry.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. And her husband. It's sort of like the In a Garden show, except for that it's in a mansion, not in the Hamptons, but in the middle of the Cotswolds. And remember that she dresses with big jangly necklaces and a lot of modernism. Her castle is just a box. It's a modernist box. And her library is crazy. I mean, everything's crazy looking, obviously. But her husband is in it, and her husband is very funny. One of the episodes, they were talking about cake, and he said, I knew I should have married Mary Berry. And that made me laugh quite a bit. But she said, what I like about the Prue Leith show, as opposed to In a Garden, which I love her relationship with her husband as well. It is adorable. I like the recipes better. Prue Leith is she's just making home cook food. She's like, I'm not entertaining. I'm going to show you how to make an aduki bean casserole. It's like a shepherd's pie, but with beans. And it looked really good. And then she made like a roasted vegetable thing that was really good too. I feel like I've been talking for 30 minutes. I'm so sorry. Do you want to take a break?
Okay.
The Kyle lean, you guys, where he leans. It's like, hey, you guys thinking about taking a break? Yes, we took one.
Comic of the week.
Woo!
Anjelica.
Scannooch. Anjelica Scannura.
Not love her name. She's very funny.
She is very funny.
New York. That's the sense I'm getting. Very funny joke that I found on Instagram, or Instagram served to me, and it was from a Don't Tell. She does dark comedy, death comedy, as somebody once complained to me about my set.
Right. Except for
who.
Right. Sometimes there's death.
One of your little booker buddies.
It's well, who gets to go on After Midnight more than once? You did. So you get what you get. And it's true. But Scannooch, SCANOOCH.
Let's get back to
We've weeded off. Note
I
the
didn't
time
want my
code.
bitterness to impede Anjelica's Jackie and Laurie bump. But yeah, she's very funny. Scannooch, SCANOOCH.
It's
find her on
Anjelica Scannura is the full name, and then Scannooch is the handle.
Okay, well,
yes, she's
I'm
not
sorry.
wrong. It's a great handle.
How did you, Lori? Literally, all Jackie did was yell "Scannooch," and we were off to the races.
Scannura, I
one-named
apologize.
artist when this comic of the week started.
Seriously, this lady knows what she's doing.
Exactly. She's not wrong. That's a marketing genius, Scannooch is. Scannooch is the greatest. It's the greatest name in comedy. Feel free to put that on your website, Anjelica. Jackie Kashian says it's the greatest name in comedy. Scannooch.
That's a clean sound bed there.
Sure.
That is. She can pull that out, do whatever she wants with it. Yeah.
Well,
that's what I got.
You don't have any more little one-nighters you want to tell me about in September? Or
in August, I'm going to both Bend
my God!
and Corvallis. I'm doing Bend, and then I'm doing a Don't Tell in Corvallis. Don't tell anybody in Corvallis, except for tell fucking everyone.
Wait, are you doing Ryan's show in Bend at the brewery? Ryan Trout?
No, I'm doing Ethan's show in Bend.
Okay.
The Grindhouse. It's a Grindhouse gig.
Okay.
All I know is that I was looking at Southwest all day today because it was a big day for sales.
Oh.
And pretty sure, I wonder, did I pull the trigger on that? Southwest was booking, was pretty cheap. I meant to book this other thing. Anyway, I think I don't want to fly to Portland, drive to Bend, drive to Corvallis, and then drive to Portland, and have to get to Portland early enough. I would have to leave at 3 a.m. Corvallis to Portland.
Stop doing this to yourself. My God.
Right. I know. I am a Fabergé egg. I deserve to be held gently. That's right. I may stay overnight, an extra night in Portland if I end up doing that. I forget exactly what I did fucking book, quite honestly. I'm pretty sure I booked something. I think I booked the October in Appleton. I'm doing right before Halloween.
Oh,
which I've always. Yeah.
Wait, you're doing the Appleton, that's the Healy Skyline?
No, I'm doing a benefit for a domestic abuse group. And
I'm glad you finished that
here's the good
sentence.
News.
Yes.
And by the way, they're against domestic abuse.
Yes.
But for a short time, I genuinely thought they were having it at the house where the women are staying, which is a terrible idea. They are not. They are having it, obviously, at a lovely, I believe it's a Hilton. And so that I think that'll be fun, except for I got to fly back the day of Halloween because it's Andy's national holiday. It's his favorite.
You guys do Halloween.
Did you see on my Instagram the picture of our neighbor's corn yard?
Yep, your neighbors grow corn.
One of my neighbors planted 100 stalks of corn, and it looks like Field of Dreams. It looks like we should all get old-timey baseball outfits and get pictures of us just coming out of it.
In the backyard?
Front yard.
I love what I didn't know that was legal. Wait, there's like a farm in the front yard of Van Nuys house?
Yep, rows and rows of corn. And I admire this guy so hardcore. Last year he planted so many hot peppers, and interspersed with the corn and with the hot peppers last year, cucumbers, tomatoes, squash, other things. The guy, hardcore farmer, and everything grows in his crazy ass front yard. And every time I see him, I just want to shake his hand because he's a genius.
That sounds delicious.
I know he could do that thing that we do in Wisconsin where you boil the water and then pick the corn.
Oh my God. How cool.
Because that's the way to do it.
You know what I'm reading? I'm reading Prairie Fires, which is a biography of Laura Ingalls Wilder. Cool. It's so fucking good. And it's, it also, her situation, the Luxembourgers that came over a little earlier, 1850s, but the homesteading of that area in that time, it's such a good read. It's fascinating.
Actually, about 10 years ago, somebody did a Dork Forest about it. If you wanted to do a Dork Forest about it, you're welcome to. But we're kind of doing one right now where you're telling me how great it is. So she really did
sentences in after your soliloquy, your half-hour, filibuster, and you're telling me I'm talking too much about something. Really, Jackie? I'm not an expert on this. I'm just saying it's interesting. You got the displacement of the Dakota Indians. You have that fucking horrific trial or hanging situation where they hung they created a hanging like machine where they could hang, I don't know, like 26 or 30 something Dakota Indians all at once by pushing one lever or something. It was like horrific. And Abraham Lincoln signed off on it. You're a best friend, Jackie. And,
no, I have to interject. Time code. You got to interject here because I have always stated that one of the things that Abraham Lincoln did during the Civil War was tell the soldiers that were on the Pioneer, were on the edge of our colonization. They were having trouble with the Native Americans, and Lincoln actually wrote them back a telegram that said, just kill them. I'm busy having a civil war. And so not his finest moment.
No, not at all. And
it wasn't like, I don't know if you saw Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. That is not an accurate movie, just so you know. And because in that movie, they depict him as being an abolitionist from a very early age. And that is not so. That is not so. He became an abolitionist by political necessity, is what he did. Yeah.
Well, anyway, so Laura and her family were homesteading. They had terrible luck. Then now I'm at the part where she married Almanzo, and his name is Manly. She they call him Manly Wilder. Like, incredible name. A porn name back during the Homestead Act, right? Manly Wilder. And it is nonstop struggle there are these grasshopper swarms that they say were historic, never recorded before, kept wiping out everyone's farms and wiping out all their crops, and they try again. Then there'd be a fucking prairie fire. I mean, it was unbelievable. And I just I don't know much about my ancestors' time in Wisconsin, but they were in that area. They were farmers. They built their own house and all that kind of stuff with a bunch of Luxembourgers. And so it's very interesting to read, but also I don't know how those people did it. It's so fucking hard. And there was like this, she was teaching some kids, and she stayed in a house, right? And the wife almost stabbed the husband one night, right next to Laura, right? And then the author says, well, what happened is a lot of women literally went insane on the prairie.
Oh, right. I'm sure.
They're in charge of the kids. They're in these little wood or mud shanties.
It's one room.
Yeah. And then
with like 3 to 7 children.
Yes. Your husband can work the whole year on a crop, and then it gets wiped out by fucking crickets and fires. And then they do it again the next year. Please. Anyway, it's a really good biography if anyone's
sounds
interested.
Cheerful. Yeah, it sounds super cheerful.
I don't look for cheer when I'm reading a memoir, Jackie. We're reading about someone's life. It's going to be depressing, and it always ends in death. So what do you want?
Hope is what I want. Always. I always want to know how people triumphed, and somebody lived. I mean, that's the thing.
Well, Laura, she had it ended up pretty good for her artistically, but the early years of her marriage before she started writing, just nonstop work, drudgery. Right. She had a baby that died like 10 days, a 10-pound baby boy. That's a fucking hell of a labor. That's no drugs.
That's a big baby.
The baby died like a week or two later. They never figured out why. That just happened.
Like a crib death? Yeah. That still happens, sadly. But usually it isn't a strong baby that they would have wanted as a farm worker.
Yes. Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yikes.
And then, of course, we know from the series, frickin' her sister Mary gets scarlet fever and goes blind. That's a huge hardship for the family. There's a school for the blind. They send her to for 1 year, and then they can't afford it the next year. It's just unbelievable. It's nonstop struggle and turmoil.
Did you ever watch that show? Like, I never even watched that show.
Little House on the Prairie?
Yeah.
Great.
Oh,
yeah.
Not a fan.
That's because you missed the window when you would have been a young girl and
I
loving
like the book so much.
Oh, did you like the book so much?
Oh, huge fan. I'm going to need the title of this biography. I'll read the hell out of this. Those were
Prairie Fires.
Prairie Fires. Ooh, I'm super in. These were seminal books for me.
I feel left out. Good for you. Good for you guys.
Read them?
No. I never wanted to.
Good.
Yeah. I was busy reading Hardy Boys.
She's from Wisconsin too. Maybe it hits too close to home. You don't want to read about. You're into
true.
Fantasy and passion and Egyptians.
Fetish item to us.
You don't want to read about fucking Wisconsin.
I don't know what to tell you guys about what we get the breezes. I was raised in a factory town. I wasn't raised on. I mean,
Jackie,
there was
you milked cows every morning and fed your family from a calico teat.
I'll tell you. Let me tell you a little history of Wisconsin. When I was a kid, cheese curds were garbage. They were the thing that was thrown away. And then someone said, "What if we just bagged them up and just sold them as a snack food?" And then all of a sudden, normal people are eating a pound of cheese, just one, and then they breaded and fried them. And the world's gone mad, is what I'm saying. And they're not bad. They're fine. Cheese curds. I don't know if you've had them, but they are, I think they're everywhere now, but they're in Wisconsin for sure. It's sort of one of those things when you go to Wisconsin, they're like, you're going to want to get the cheese curds. And you're like, no, how come you're not getting the cheese curds? Well, I live here. I can get it anytime. Yeah, I can get it anytime. I don't need to have, like when you go south, has anyone ever tried to talk you into getting shrimp and grits?
It's one of my favorite foods.
a lot.
I don't like shrimp. It's bouncy. I don't want it in my mouth. Grits?
Why are we
friends? Grits? What's a grit?
Grits are so good.
What is a grit? You can't even. No one even can tell me what a grit is.
Cornstarch.
It's a grain. It's a
corn grain.
It's grain. It's corn.
Well, why don't they call? Oh, really? Where's a grit farm?
A grit farm? Well, that is where the working class are. That's what they call that. A grit farm.
I believe it's garbage. I believe it's stuff taken out of the garbage disposal. Someone sticks their hand in it, pulls out whatever got trapped in it, and calls it grits.
I would like to remind the listeners of the Jackie and Laurie Show that Laurie was raised by a woman who would eat dinner and they were baby carrots and a glass of vodka. So please,
that's just a girl dinner.
That is somebody's retirement. Anyway.
I went to
second break. Second break.
Okay. Back. I went to Kyle's 4th of July party. It was lots of fun. Yes.
It was awesome.
Yeah. And I brought my son. That's the only reason I could stay for several hours.
He was a hit too.
What?
He was a hit.
Oh, was he?
Mm-hmm. I heard he was tricked out in some sort of anime costume.
Yep.
No, I got him.
It was a cool outfit.
Yeah, I got him because we're watching Dexter, and he likes Batista, who wears these what do they call like Gayabara? Those kind of like very Miami Cuban big shirts that the men wear that are sort of shapeless, you know. And so
kind of
I got
a poncho. Yeah.
No, not a poncho.
Like a Cubano.
Mexican, Jackie. But I appreciate your efforts.
No, but I know what you mean. It's a boxy poncho. It's nothing but a boxy. I know
it's
exactly.
Boxy,
no, you're thinking of a serape.
I'm never thinking.
I think that's a sauce. But listen, can I just please get this one little sentence out? So I got him an outfit in Harlem. It's like $7 at the dollar store, and it looks fucking awesome on it, and he loves it. So he wears it all the time now because he's got his Batista outfit. But yeah, he talked anime with a lot of anime heads.
Oh yeah.
And I listened. I was a proud mom, going, "Oh my god!" And here's the thing: like he's 18 now, so he's like an adult. So I think it feels different for him to not be the kid, even though he still is kind of the kid at these things, but he's a fellow adult talking to his fellow adults. And
right, was there anybody else his age there though? But because mostly everybody's in their early 30s.
Right. Yeah.
Well, there's also a contingent of like I have a friend who's in a band that's a little bit older than him, but who sort of splits the differences in his mid-20s.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was a contingent of folk there.
We went into Kyle's room of silence, which was
they saw the studio.
Incredible.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Very quiet. Just like it. I've heard that there's a room, I think in Minnesota, that's officially the quietest room in the world, and it makes people go insane because you don't have anything to drown out your thoughts, I guess. And it kind of felt like that, but a little bit less because people were talking and stuff. It was weird.
Right.
The boy was vibing pool. In there, which I felt like to me implied that he is full of so many less demons than us.
I know. And then, so that was really fun. And then he did drink a couple of vodka spritzers in a tribute to his grandmother because I was driving home.
Sure.
He drove there.
Oh, right.
There you go. Mm-hmm.
There you go. He's growing up. He's growing up.
Mm-hmm.
And so we could not come, Andy and I. Andy had to play test Hero Instant. He did some convention the other week where, because the Hero Instant is essentially you get to be superheroes, but when he does a convention, he literally takes, to explain the game to people, he makes two teams that you can be famous superheroes. Like you could take those superpowers. So he had Alpha Flight, which is a Marvel Canadian Avengers, and the Great Lakes Avengers, which are a joke Milwaukee Sheboygan based. Squirrel Girl is on them. And then he had them solve some mystery of the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald, which made me laugh so hard because that is something from my childhood. That song, the wreck itself, though it had happened years earlier.
You still mourn those poor souls that were lost.
The legend lives on from the Chippewa on down to the big lake they call Gitchigumi. I don't know if you know this. Anyway,
I don't.
So we had the game. We had to play test, and so we could not come. But I'm sure we were not missed because there's usually about 50 or 60 people.
Yeah, not many folks asked about you.
Oh, that's very sweet.
So you were missed. Ha.
Oh, ha. That'll show me. What do you got next week besides trying to figure out
Oh, I did Chatterbox on Sunday. That was a lot of fun. Yeah.
That's real.
Yeah.
Is that in a bowling alley or
Chatterbox? No, it's Steve Hernandez's gig. It's in a bar, but it's in Covina or West Covina. It's like a half hour, probably 40-minute drive for you, but it's a really fun show, and the audience. Every time I see him, they're really good.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's what every time I see him do stand up, I'm always like, that's that funny guy.
Yeah,
who also has a gig in Covina I've never wanted to drive to.
Oh, you've never done Chatterbox?
No,
you got to do it. You would love it.
And every time I say, and twice I think in the last year and a half I've seen him, and I've said, great set. You run that thing in Covina. He said, yeah, that thing you don't want to do. Yeah. You're welcome to do it whenever you want. And I was like, oh, I'm totally going to do it. But I say that about Comedy and Magic too, which is actually a lot further. And I only do it at their birthday month.
So Comedy Magic, you'll drive to it when you can do a 3-minute set, but not when you can do 12-minute sets.
Right. Is it just 12 over at Covina? Just 12?
No. I'm saying at Comedy Magic, it might be 8, might be 10. Maybe 10's the max. But yeah.
These are all 5s, of course.
Oh, 5. Okay.
Yeah, but the reason I did I wanted to try the late night set.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I tried it. And you know what you learn? You learn that you have more than 5 minutes. And you also learn a couple of those jokes in the middle. Nobody on late night wants to hear those jokes. So I got to pull those out and rebuild, which is fine.
I just watched a bunch of sets for the Stand Up on Conan show that I do on Sirius XM.
Yeah.
And, oh man, Gary Veeder made me really laugh. I just watched his set like 2 nights ago because I recorded again. And his pacing is so slow. And he just makes the audience wait for it, and I love it. And I was like, dang, I would die before I could talk that slowly. I'm just like,
right. The silence drives me.
Yeah.
That's so cool that you're doing more of those. That's fun.
Yeah.
And what do you got besides cat wrangling? Getting Laura House and Murray Bamford to do this. What do you guys got for the next couple of weeks?
I think I'm at the Fable on Wednesday, Mike Bridenstine's gig, and then I'm doing a backyard show or some kind of show, 6 p.m. in Glendale. I'll be posting about it on Instagram. That's it. I did a lot of comedy this weekend.
Yeah, you did.
My mouth was tired by Saturday night, and then I flew home and had more shows or whatever. I flew back whenever I did. I just did a ton of comedy, and I kind of like need to. And now we're back in production, so I'm waking up 5:45 in the morning, writing at 6:30 in the morning. So I got to get back into that mode,
Yeah, that's. What kind of shoes did you wear? Did you figure out your shoe situation for New York comedy?
It's never good. I'm always like,
you could working girl it.
I don't want to carry extra shoes in my purse.
Shoes. Yeah.
I mean, literally I try to make it as minimalist as possible because I'm carrying a purse up and down all these flights of stairs, running around.
Right.
And it was so fucking hot in New York. I would wear the purse across me and there'd be sweat marks. It was really just gross. But I really try to make it as minimal as possible as when I'm going out and carrying all this stuff,
And I do say, and we talked about this last week, but I think that New York audiences are pretty understanding, which is kind of great.
Gross, yeah, because they all do too. Yeah, everyone's in the same boat. You can't work. You can't be out in that heat and not just have makeup run a little bit, your hair just flat. Yeah.
Well, it's been great.
We did another one, Jackie. So are you not here next week then?
That's right.
Okay, so I'll have to connect with Laura and Maria. Did you
wait? I wonder. I mean, the thing is I leave on Monday, so if we could do it on Sunday, I could do it. But we could talk about this off the show.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
Oh, well, so maybe we could do one more.
Find out.
Okay.
People, TikTok, you guys.
All right, everybody, tune in to find out next week.